I got the rundown.
Yep.
And I text Steve and look at this thing. I said, he believes his resume, he's overqualified for the practice squad. And you look at Dez signed to the Ravens practice squad, and hopefully he shows them enough. And I get it. Eric Reid says a lot. I was just in the league. I've been a Pro Bowl player. I'm only 29 years of age.
I think he's still 28, but go ahead.
Yeah, he's about to be. He turns 29 in December.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I played for you, Ron. What do you need to see to convince you that I can still play at a high level in this league? And me going out there playing behind someone that I believe I'm better than, now that's his choice. Now me, sign me up. Because all I want is an opportunity to get in front of you to show you what I can do on the practice field, and then you're going to have no choice but to activate me.
Shannon Sharpe, 7th-round pick, first training camp. You just needed to get your foot on the field.
I just need to get my foot on the door.
Yep.
And plus, Skip, I'm in no position.
Yep.
It's like a pandemic. Okay, Skip, I had a great job. I'm making $200,000 a year. But this other job comes along, and it's only going to pay me $75,000.
Yeah.
Skip, I got to eat. Yeah. Now, maybe I got enough money, like, no, I'm going to wait for the ideal situation to come along. This is Eric Reid's choice. If he says, look, I'm going to wait, hopefully something comes along. But I'm just saying, me, I'm going to get that. All I want to do is get in front of Ron Rivera, and after one practice, he's going to have no choice but to activate me and sign me to the active roster. And from that point on, I'm going to be on the active roster making big boy money moving forward.
Yep.
But he feels that what he's accomplished in his career and how well he's playing, that the practice squad is beneath him, and and he shouldn't have to dignify himself by going out and having to prove that he can still play at a level. That's his choice. Couldn't be me. Because if I want to play in the league, if I need a job, and I need this job, I'm going to get that.
Yep. I'm with you. My first thought when I saw this story last night was, man, I wish he'd just seize the opportunity.
Yes.
And then go take huge advantage of it, because he would.
Yes.
He'd be a starter before you know it.
Yes.
Because I believe they're going to elevate a kid named Cameron Curl, a 7th-round pick out of Arkansas.
Right.
To be the starting safety in place of Landon Collins, he got off to a flying start the other day with the sack fumble of Andy Dalton, tore his Achilles. I don't understand Achilles tears. They just happen out of nowhere.
And they've been having a lot in the NFL out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, and he's done for the year, and it's almost career-threatening when you have one of those. Huge opportunity for the coach that you just played for in Carolina, who does believe in you.
Right.
And what did Eric Reid do last year for Ron Rivera in Carolina? He set franchise records, for what it's worth, but they're franchise records for tackles and sacks in a season by a safety. By safety.
Right.
It's pretty great. Right? He had the second most tackles in the whole National Football League at safety to the guy you love in Arizona, Budda Baker. Is that pretty good?
Very good.
That's very good.
Right.
So he had a year last year.
Right.
And I was actually surprised he even got that opportunity, because, just to remind everybody, he and Colin Kaepernick sued this league for collusion.
Right.
And they, quote unquote, won. They didn't actually win it. It got settled. Right. So they did win.
And considering how, Skip, and considering how that owner feels about those that kneeled in protest, for the mere fact that Ron Rivera says, look, I want to bring him in from the practice squad, is a feat in and of itself.
It would. You're exactly right. So I was very happy he got the opportunity. And now, is he overqualified? Yes, he is to start with.
Yes.
But it's just get your foot in the door.
That's it.
And then the rest will be history.
Yeah, by the end of the week, they're going to like, okay, we're elevating you to the active roster.
Yeah. As my mom used to tell me, don't cut off your nose to spite your face.
Yes.
And that's kind of what you're doing here. Pride goeth before the fall.
Right.
You got so much pride. I'm just going to sit this one out. I'm going to sit home till a real team calls me that says, we will elevate you into our starting lineup. We need a starter at safety. Well, that would have happened in Washington, I'm pretty sure, very quickly.
Yeah, I totally agree, Skip. And that's how I am. I just want the opportunity. Just let me get in the door, and then I can show you what I'll do. If this is what you think of me, if you say practice squad and going to pay me $12,000 a week, okay, fine, whatever. But I'm going to show you. I guarantee you in a week's time, I'm going to be on the active roster, because I know I'm better than what you have. I just need to get an opportunity to get in front of you and show it.
Yep. So obviously you and I have agreed for what, 2 years that Colin Kaepernick is not going to play any more football in the National Football League. Yesterday, the big story was young Colin has been cast for the movie about Colin Kaepernick's life and times.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Great. Eric Reid sort of beat the system because he was right there in lockstep with Colin in protest lockstep. And he lived to tell.
Right.
He was still a very viable, I'm not going to say he was a star in Carolina, but he was a really good player.
Yeah, he was extremely well. But, Skip, the vitriol, even though Andy Young and Ralph David Abernathy and some of the guys that were next to Dr. King, they didn't get the vitriol that Dr. King got.
No, they did not.
Kaepernick, even though he was right next to Cap, he didn't get that vitriol that Cap got.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
I think owners viewed him as an accessory, right?
Exactly. Because they're like, you know what? You wouldn't even did that had he not talked you into it. So it's kind of like my brother. We used to get in trouble, and my grandfather would say, well, you the oldest. You should have known better. Shannon is following, that boy following you. So basically, they held Cap responsible for what Reid did, even though Reid was a grown man and could make his own decision. He said, this is what I want to do. I believe he's right. I would have taken the opportunity. I'm not mad at him that he didn't.
Yeah.
He's perfectly within his right. That's what America's about. We have rights. And his right is like, nah, I'm better than that. I don't want that. I would have taken that opportunity to get into Washington, and at the end of the week, I'd have been on the active roster.
You would have. I agree. But Eric Reid's thinking, once upon a time, I was the 18th overall pick in the first round of the draft out of LSU, where I loved him. I used to rave about him on the other show I used to do. He's a player, man.
Yeah.
He is a ball hawk playmaker. And in 2013, I know it's 7 years ago, he did make a Pro Bowl.
He made a Pro Bowl. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, but Skip, here's the thing. There are a lot of first-round picks without a job. A lot of them. And they were hired at 18th.
Yep.
So
by the way, Cam Irving has a job for my Dallas Cowboys, and he's not qualified anymore to have the starting left tackle job.
You were geeked about Cam Irving.
Yeah.
I think Skip forgot that on that Monday night game that Aaron Donald had.
I know, but he was once upon a time the 18th overall pick.
Yeah.
I think he was maybe 19th, so right in there with Eric Reid. Yep.
And Rivera said, last month that we're fortunate. We're fortunate position where we have Landon Collins, a guy like Eric Reid that would fit us here. But if we didn't have Collins, believe me, I would give him a call. He gave him a call.
Gave him a call.
Because at the end of the day, Skip, when we got guys on the roster, let's go. And plus, that'd have been very interesting. Because we know how Jack Del Rio feels about certain situations. How would that dynamic work?
That's a good one.
I mean, hey.
Was that operating here on Eric's part? Was he thinking, I don't want to do that?
Man, look, hey.
Maybe.
Man, I'm trying to get this money. And like I said, and Jack understands that, look, we're going to leave political, what we like or dislike out of this. I'm here to coach. Like I said, I've known Jack a lot. Played against Jack. He was with me in Baltimore, Skip.
I covered him as a Dallas Cowboy.
He came back. I played against him when he was in Minnesota.
Yep.
And he was on that staff in Baltimore, and then he was the D coordinator in Denver. So I know Jack. Jack and I go back 25, 30 years, so I know him well. But at some point, you put those differences aside, Skip, because the common goal is to try to win. And like Eric Reid made his decision. Hopefully someone does call him and he gets an opportunity.
I was going to say, I just hope his phone rings.
Yeah. But probably more times than not, Skip, it's hard for me to see a situation where you just get in and you automatically become the starter. Because how do they elevate you in front of someone, even though with your credentials, someone that's been practicing and that's been there?
Jerry Jones, give him a call.
Yeah,
probably not.
That's
what I say. I'm joking. Could he use him? Yes.
Yeah, they can use me right now.
Hey, that's true.
I think, anyone. Shannon, anyone's available right now to help the Cowboys. Listen up, guys.
If you got a Cowboy helmet and a jersey, they got practice at 11 o'clock today.
Is that what it is? Thank you for the PSA. Listen to this, though, Shannon. Did Anthony Davis snub LeBron in the GOAT debate? How about that?